updated it. Should be good to go.
Welcome, esteemed guests, colleagues, and others, to another exciting episode of Altadena Talks. We are now at episode 271, and I'm one of your co-hosts, Brian Willie Bacchus.
I'm Jamal Smith, aka Nelly.
And Tony will be rolling past the screen soon, so we're going to go get started with today's topic is Wellness Wednesdays. Oh, we can't forget.
Actually,
We can't forget. Yes, you are.
It is hump day. It is the
Can't
middle of the
forget
week.
the most important thing of the Wednesday,
That's right.
which is
It took me a minute when I was younger to really understand what the hump meant when they said hump day. But now I get it. It's right in the middle. You go up Monday and Tuesday, you get to Wednesday, and then you go down Thursday and Friday.
And once you get to the top, it's all dark brown.
Okay. Perhaps that's another way to look at it. And I hadn't been doing that.
Man. So today's topic is Wellness Wednesdays, dealing with media.
Like social media or just media?
No,
Period.
just okay.
Like
So
news and all that stuff?
the idea of today's topic is that we're going through so much, and if you pay attention to the political temperature that's going on in regards to 1 minute Trump is last year didn't want to give us any aid, told us to rake our forests, did all this stuff. He was going to release funds if we changed our voter ID registration. He was going to release water, which didn't make any sense because that was a week later and the fire has already done damage. So why would you release water? Who cares at that point? But now he's saying he's fed up with how slow things are going. So he's going to do an executive order to take over something that literally I don't think you can really do because states have mandates that they do outside of the federal government. Federal government, if they were not to hold back on the federal aid that we needed, then we'd probably be a little bit more advanced. That's just my opinion with the progress. But at the same time, your previous statements really contradict what you're doing now. It's like, this is something you should have done an executive order back when we needed it. Like during the debris removal, we should have had this permit process in place. I mean, I'm not going to knock what our representatives have been doing. Catherine Barger, Senator Perez have been out there doing their due diligence. And we're not the only subject under their radar or on their radar. They have to deal with Palisades. They have to deal with bureaucracy of sharing funds between county and city of LA.
Mhm.
I just learned something last week that I didn't know Reseda was considered to be Los Angeles, part of Los Angeles City and Los Angeles County. Never knew that. There's a whole bunch of things I'm learning as we go along. Just like yesterday when we had the IO on, and he's putting together his app and the how-to guides and step by steps. We didn't know any of this. Everybody panicked. Everybody tried to figure out where to go. I never even knew about the Civic Center until 2 weeks in.
Right.
Didn't know anything about that. I only knew what I could do. And I knew that I had a platform and I could go live. And instead of using it to be goofy like I normally do, I used it for good. Like you always say, use your forces for
Use
good.
your powers for good.
just
No, that's a
like,
great point.
it's so funny that you used to say that to me, and now I see it in every dang movie.
Well, I think I got it from a movie at some point, but it makes perfect sense. But
Mhm.
not, you know, like you said, a lot of stuff people just didn't know about, and it's amazing when people like IO put together the document and website with all those resources on there, like they've done. It's amazing when folks like the Collaboratory pull together and have an actual place where people can utilize on a regular basis. Some nonprofits can use it to have their events, but it's a safe place for folks to go. It's a central place, is what I meant to say. It is safe, of course, but it's a central location where people can go on a regular basis to get the things that they need, whether they be, food, clothing, that kind of stuff, or for there to be members of like government services or local county services that, for the people they need, like SBA is back and they're at the Collaboratory and another spot in LA. So yeah, it's amazing. Because there's so much negative stuff though too, it's nice that it's nice that you have some positive things that can uplift people. And unfortunately, we have to sift through a lot of crap and a lot of not so positive stuff to get to the good stuff.
Well, the beautiful thing is that there were 1,500 events last year, and we announced half of them, and all of that was positive. Now, that was great media. I feel that we are great media. We don't come at people with negativity and stuff, and we just point out certain things, and we have our opinions on things. But overall, I feel that we're doing some great journalistic efforts in presenting information to people so they can get the gist of things. We share the podcast to various groups on Facebook. Shout out to those groups that allow us to do that, because without you, we couldn't get the views we needed as well as get the information out to you. So by sharing to those groups, it actually boosts the viewing and people can get more out of it because they'll see that there's vital information involved in the podcast, especially during the announcements time, because that is very important, at least to me, because I like to know what's going on in the neighborhood. And that's what keeps everybody coming back to the neighborhood, is the fact that there are things happening here. One of the things that Tony learned up at the After the Fire event up in Sonoma, I guess that's where it was, or Sacramento, one of the two. I'm not quite sure. She'll correct me if I'm wrong, but they were talking about, keep people coming back to the community. As long as you keep people coming to the community, they can see the progress. They can have hope. They can see that things are happening. And, by looking at the that website that Tony pulled up yesterday, in regards to how many permits are being put out there and how many have already been approved and things of that nature. And I'm really glad to see. I'm happy I'm real proud to be part of this community. I never expected them to pull together like this, man. We be pulling together. We're awesome. I have to just say, pat ourselves on the back here. We're awesome.
Altadena is amazing, bro.
Man. Even more so, I can't wait to tell my grandkids, if my kids ever have any, how we pulled together as a town.
Heck yeah. Look, Tony popped in.
Yeah, hey, she slid in and then raised herself up. Whoop, whoop. Her chair was a little too low.
Man,
I had not had my breakfast or smoothie or anything, and I was starting to get a slight headache. So I went in the kitchen and took care of me for a minute. So I am now here. But I heard the tail end of you saying you're proud to be part of Altadena, or of the community, because of how much people have come together. And it is amazing to see. So, yeah.
Well, I put up... I know a lot of people. Thank you for that. I was getting ready to look for it to take down. I embedded the permit process site on our site so that people can actually find it because I can never find it. And I know you have it bookmarked, but I just got lazy and just said I'll just put it on our site.
It's on one of the, it's on one of those sub pages on recovery.lacounty.gov.
Oh, I know. I'm never going there.
Mm-hmm. I don't go there. I bookmarked the recovery page, the dashboard. So that's why I could pull it up so fast because I was like, I'm not going through all that. I'm going to just bookmark it.
I made it even simpler.
That's a common place to go. Virtually everything that we talk about is there. It's it's not always easily found, but that's the location it is. But cool, yeah, we are progressing quite nicely per those numbers. I think the thing that really concerned me, which Isle brought up and we brought up several times, is the dangerous chemicals and stuff that's still in the soil. That's something I'm hoping more and more people really look into before they rebuild, because it's going to become an issue later on if they don't.
And that's good that they can actually see progress as well, so that gives them more hope to keep pushing.
For sure. Let's see here. All right, I did that. Okay, cool. I'm uploading the slides right now, but
upload them slides, brother.
Yeah, media is a beast in terms of some of the stuff that it talks about and what it shares, and like algorithms and all that kind of stuff. Even if if you're talking social media, they project what they want you to hear. It's almost like they hide the the stuff that you need to hear.
Do you know how many times I get these things going down my feed about how Patti LaBelle just dedicated her whole years of concert earnings to open up this free hospital for veterans or something, and I go fact check it, and not only, sometimes I don't even need to fact check it because the same story will run for Busta Rhymes, will run for Bill Cosby, will run for Obama, and it's the same crap. And I'm like, are you guys, is this the battle for the likes and views era? Because it's irritating me. I love reading, because some of them are true and some of them are actually, I didn't know. But when you get the ones that are just like so blatantly wrong, and that's where the wellness comes in for the media. Sometimes you just got to scroll by. I am compelled to say something, because you'll get these bots that are on there answering, oh my God, that's just so wonderful. Oh, I just kudos to her and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, let me go back over here and drink my water and mind my business.
Yeah, because you'll spin your wheels all day long, replying to those folks.
Yeah, well, I don't. I just go to chat and tell them to go check it. If it's wrong, I just come back and say, bruh. But yeah, I'm just, everything's now moving up. We've gotten past a year. Everything's moving up. People that were probably thinking about not building are now seeing the results. They're seeing the progress. And, I'm just happy to see it. This year has been, and it's like a roller coaster. 1 minute you got some good news, the next minute you got some bad news, and the media is not helping. That's one of the reasons why we had this topic. If you watch the media, you might want to be careful about what media you watch. I was actually over a friend's house last week, and he says he watches all the news about America on BBC and other out of the country stations, because he feels that the truth is a little bit more blatant when you watch it from another country's perspective.
Yeah,
and
I would agree.
So of course I was sitting there listening to some of the stuff that he was watching. I was like, wow, I got enlightened on a few things. So that is another thing.
Because they view us totally different outside.
Yes. And we really need to see that, because our media censors. and their media
But
does
you know
not.
what's interesting? If you look back at the last few years of the first term of the dotard being in office, right? And then
Every time you say that,
even when he was out of office and President Biden was in before he got back in, they were strategically putting things in place. Because do you remember during the first term, he was like, all police officers should have immunity, full immunity.
right? And then you see what happened with George Floyd.
Right. He was like, no, it should be full immunity. And people are reactive. So people want to react to something then. But again, Project 2025 was 40 years in the making. They've been doing this. And they've been strategically looking at everything. And okay, this is how we're going to do this. And so the reason they're so crunch, chaos, let me throw chaos out there every day, all day, is they know, I believe they know, if they don't do everything within their plan now to try to make this a dictatorship country, very much mimicking Russia and Venezuela and places that have dictators, right? Or Cuba and everything, then this is their last ditch effort. They have said on marches, you will not replace us, all this stuff. But and that's why they've also banned books and want to ban DEI and history and all of this. You can never erase the history of this country. You can never erase that Europeans, white Europeans came here where there were Moors, Black people were already here, and Native Americans, Indians, who this country belonged to. They came here. They tell a little bit of history by telling the Thanksgiving story, but they murdered, they raped over and over and over. And the things that,
like the Trail of Tears.
The things that our culture, Native American culture, Latin culture, because Latin America, Spaniards settled here in California, but there's Mexico. Everything that was already connected, Canada being there and everything, that stuff you cannot ever erase because it's been passed down through generations and there's plenty of documented history. So that's why this whole thing has been planned. Their actors have been put in place, from DeSantis in Florida to Abbott in Texas to, all these different people in these states. And then the dotard in the White House 2 times. And so the facts are, if you really research and learn history or know history and go through it, you will see all of this has been pre-planned. All of it was orchestrated. They're trying to do things now with the other dotard that's over SpaceX and all that stuff to have him do something where they can steal the 26 midterms, right? Like this last election would happen. And so if we don't get out there, and then now the whole thing with ICE, let's instill fear in everyone, because then we can fully take over. We'll start by going after illegals, where there's no human being that's illegal. And there's no one that is an alien. There might be migrants that come from other countries or immigrants, but they're immigrants that come over here illegally from Europe still, from white countries. Mm-hmm. There are immigrants that come from Latin countries, from Asian countries, and from African and everywhere, right? So even if you come from Canada, regardless of your cultural background, your ethnic background, you're still immigrating if this is not your country. Sure. And so the facts are, this has been pre-planned, many, many decades in the making. It has been pre-planned for, like I said last time, he was, all police ought to have immunity. No, they shouldn't. And then you turn around and you pardon 1,600 people that broke the law on January 6th. Some were sentenced to jail time already. Some were going through the process still. You pardon them all, and then you deputize them. And a lot of them being Proud Boys. But you see how many have also gone back to jail or been killed by police or whatever because they're criminals, the real ones. And so now you have this criminal element, quote unquote, deputized. Now, mind you, You guys know my history. I'm a veteran, Air Force veteran. I was in law enforcement while I was in the Air Force. When I got out, I worked for the VA Police Department, and I was also a U.S. Customs agent at JFK in New York. The stuff I had to deal with and go through to become that, and go to Quantico, Virginia, and train with the FBI and things like that. I've been trained in that. These people out here are absolutely not trained. If you catch them on hot mic after killing somebody saying, hey, that was fun, like Call of Duty, huh? And stuff like that. These are the kind of people that they're getting in training, and they put out this big campaign that they'll pay 100 and something thousand a year. And they're now murdering people. It is very interesting to me that the media, the senators, the people like Tim Cook, Apple CEO, and Sam Altman, OpenAI CEO, and all them are now coming out, standing up and saying this is not right, abolish ICE, this and that, because there was a white man and a white woman killed in the span of a week and a half. Because the man, I'm thankful for Mr. Pretty, because he worked at the VA as an RN in ICU serving us veterans. I'm thankful for his life. He should not have been murdered. He was legally allowed to carry that firearm. He had his permit, and it was stuck into the back of his waistband. They pulled it out once they shoved him to the ground. After they had maced him, they pulled it out and then said, gun, 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 and shot and murdered this man, 2 of them. It was clear murder. They should not have immunity. They should not be covered under some, they're federal officers. We don't have a federal police force. But this dotard has made himself one, right? And the same with Renee Good. I, of course, don't know what she did or whatever. I know her wife is grieving, and I think she had a child or children. They did. And she was trying to get away because, like we have seen here and all over the place, they're in unmarked vehicles. If you are a federal police force, which the United States does not have, you would be in a vehicle that belongs to them. If you are a CBP, which is a Customs Border Patrol agent, like I was, there are white vehicles that have green and gold on them that clearly delineate that they are Customs Border Patrol. These people go and rent cars from Budget and Enterprise and everything else. They're unmarked. They've been wearing face masks. Now, apparently in Minneapolis, they've changed the strategy, and what they're doing is putting on jeans and dressing like the people that are out marching to blend in, right? We know that baseball caps and glasses instead of being masks and all of this. Regardless, you all have murdered U.S. citizens. They continue to pick up and take U.S. citizens. And it's because he has militarized some people that should not be doing any of this for his benefit, because constantly there has to be a distraction from the Epstein files, which they say he's in well over 1,000 times, right? The audio that just came out about a week and a half ago, the man who said he was raped by Trump and many other men and saw them murder people and all that. This man doesn't even live in the country anymore. They have him secluded out of the country somewhere protected because his audio files are now coming out. And so the fact that we have absolutely a horrible criminal and his kind that he has surrounded himself with in the Oval Office, this is not anything that our ancestors died for, to have civil rights. This is not anything that any veteran served for this country, to have the rights that we have and to uphold our Constitution. And so people need to really do some research and find out. And yes, you got to be very careful when it comes to your wellness about dealing with the media or watching the media or whatever. But you have to be informed. Just like I tell people constantly, when it comes to voting, you can't wait to vote every 4 years for an election for the presidency. You've got to start at your local elections. You've got to get it to your town halls or your county, whatever, right? Your city halls. Vote on your mayors, the people that sit on your boards or your councils, and get engaged and be out there and involved. Part of what we're doing is being involved here and informing people. But I go to town hall meetings. I go to, go, not just to film, but to have a say, to have your voice heard, find out whose constituency you're in, and connect with that person and say, hey, I need to know about this, or I don't like this, or whatever. That's the only way things are going to happen and work. And for these people in Minnesota to come out by the hundreds of thousands in the below freezing temperatures to protest and to stand up against it, mad kudos to them. And to anyone else who, is going out there doing what needs to be done. So,
aren't we getting tired of this already? I mean,
aren't we what?
Aren't we getting tired of this? I mean, we've been protesting forever. I mean, every time something happens, it's like, I mean, I get the protest, but what happens afterwards? What changes?
Well, that's why you got to stay engaged at your local level with politics. And you have to say, okay, not just vote, but what can we do to change policy? I think right now, and I really don't understand the strategy of Schumer or Jeffries, and you guys know I follow politics. I don't understand the Democrat strategy right now with getting them out of office. I do understand we do not have the majority, and Murkowski from Alaska and Susan Collins from Maine, and they're flip-flop. We can't always depend on them to come over to our side. But that's why it's so important that as we are in 2026 and we begin to have midterms in March and June and November, we absolutely have to take back the House and the Senate. We have to have more House of Representative members, Congress members, and senators, or we're going to continue with this, because we've seen that the ones that are in office now let this man do anything he wants to do. But there are guardrails that they should be reining them in and saying, no, we're Congress and you can't do this. And they're not. And so we've got to have the majority in the House. Then we can impeach him again. Like he's already been impeached twice. But this time we have to have, but this time we also have to have the majority in the Senate and go on and do a trial and remove him.
Kick him out. No, I got you.
We have not removed him, though he's been impeached twice. Because Schumer wanted to curry favor and all this bullcrap. Yeah. This particular individual, you cannot curry favor with. He's loyal to no one but his own twisted brain. Because everyone that thought he was loyal to them, he threw under the bus and will continue to. So there are things that we can do and that we have to do this year. Otherwise, there won't be democracy. Otherwise, we'll all be back in days of slavery. Otherwise, we will be living like the Russians are with Putin and other people that live under dictators. And again, they are trying to consistently bait people into civil war, especially African Americans. Mm-hmm. And we're like, no, we're sitting this one out. Because every time we go to battle for y'all, everyone else, you let us down. So we're sitting this one out. You guys figure it out. But we still have to do our part when it comes to elections and being out there. And I go to protest sometimes. I have no problem with that. But these people clearly don't know. They always talk about rule of law, and they don't know what law is. They ignore judges' orders and subpoenas because they want to do what they want to do. And it's sad that the Supreme Court is allowing a lot of it and going against what the actual law is as well. But my understanding is, I don't know this for a fact, but they say that both Clarence Thomas and who's the main justice right now, Roberts, are in those files too. I've seen pictures of them.
I'm not surprised.
That's why they're blocking it.
Exactly.
I think it all comes back down to that. Files.
So they had to stack the courts.
It's crazy.
So that they would be protected. And it all comes down to, remember when Hillary Clinton was running against him in the first time? They tried to say, I think they called it Pizzagate or something, but they tried to call it and say her, Clinton, Obama, all of them were in this, the exact same type of stuff. But they never said with Jeffrey Epstein, but they said, oh, they're in this, that, the other. Mm-hmm. And all along, they knew it was them. And 9 times out of 10, that's what people do. They deflect. They talk about when people are in relationships and they cheat, they in the house start accusing the other partner, spouse, whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend, of doing what they're doing, whether it's male or female, so that they can act like, oh, you're doing something wrong. That's exactly what we see happening. And so it's chaos every day. They are agents of chaos, and that is their plan. Have another news story drop, create some type of chaos so that we can distract people. And then they'll say, oh, we got to focus on abolishing ICE because they're murdering people, but we're not talking about the Epstein files. Oh, no, we still
behind
are.
Closed doors, there's other stuff going on. Yeah, definitely distraction. And two, I mean, everything you're saying is absolutely wholeheartedly true. I agree with it. So to the being informed part, you went far more in detail of the specifics on what to be informed about, but related to wellness, I think everybody should be informed, because the point is, get the first story, watch the one cycle, and then move on to something else. What I think is super bad about the news right now is they just repeat, and people get locked into that. Just like the kids are stuck on their phones and scrolling, adults get stuck politically and socially on those on the big networks. I'm not going to throw them all out there or mention them, but they get stuck on those. And hey, I got family member that does it all the time. They do it all the time, and it's like, come on, guys. Okay, you got the first bit, you saw it the first time. Now move on, figure out some things to do. And your point about getting engaged locally, I think it's imperative. I mean, the fact that I've been more exposed to local government because of what we're doing related to Altadena than I ever have been. And ironically, I kind of like it. I like being able to know who actually has some influence, who actually cares, how things actually work. Because as I told you at the very beginning, me and politics are not friends. I understand basics, but I don't like to get into the weeds. However, locally, I know that it is so important for change in order to have that done at a local level for it to then move on to a larger, ultimately federal level. So I wholeheartedly agree with you. And I hope in terms of wellness, people just limit the number of times each day that they watch the same news, because all that's going to do is just go to your subconscious and do some negative stuff to you, and you're not going to move forward and use your own brain.
Yeah, it's very toxic, and especially like social media, because what people don't even realize is when social media began, they hired neuroscientists to see how it's basically indoctrination, and all the propaganda that any administration or whoever wants to put out there, they just repeat it in the news cycle, and then on social media, because then there's an algorithm that once you like something, it starts to pull that into your feed. So when you go on, that's what you're going to see. That's why you got to clear your stuff at least once a week and shut down, turn off your phone altogether, then turn it back on to reset at least once a week. Because if you don't clear or you don't go clear your cache, then it's just going to be that algorithm that's there, and you're going to be indoctrinated with that, and your brain will explode, basically.
Yeah. Let's not even talk about the Cambridge Analytica situation in 2016.
Right. Yep. But the other sad part is people don't use their brain. Like Brian says all the time, if he sees something, he's going to pause. He's not going to take it for face value. He's going to look it up, do a little research, and figure it out. A lot of these folks on both sides of the fence, unfortunately, a lot more in my opinion, on the other, they don't research. They just, I heard this here and this must be true. Now I'm going to run with it and do something silly. I'm going to take a life. I'm going to do something that, or whatever they're going to do, something toxic and negative based off of that, when a lot of the times the stuff that they're getting is not, there may be some truth to it, right? But they're not getting the whole picture. And that I think that is the bigger problem.
Well, I mean, okay, you look. We've heard for the last week, the dotard spouting his hatred as he normally does against Ilhan Omar. And then saying, how did she come in at this, being a immigrant from Somali, and now she's worth $44 million. Well, she explained it's not her, it's her husband. But when they file taxes, it's joint. And it's because of what he does in technology and his businesses, he has a couple, that her net worth rose, right? But when you have someone that MAGA and others really listen to or bow down to, constantly spewing hatred, then she goes to a town hall in Minnesota where she is a rep from, and a man somehow gets close enough to spray almost like a pepper spray or some liquid on her, and he got tackled and arrested and all that. But then, like you said, okay, the story's out there. Read it if you choose or not and move on. That's why when we talked yesterday about that executive order, which means nothing, him signing a piece of paper don't have anything to do with California. Saying he's going to come in and take over rebuilding in Altadena and Palisade. Boy, go somewhere, sit down. Because you sleep almost all day anyway. But, you know, like it doesn't make sense.
Well, go ahead and read Marcus's comment.
He said, I used to fall asleep to the news. Now I make sure that the last thing I see is not the news, because of very little news is positive and uplifting, especially in the evening or late night. I sleep better. I used to be a super news junkie too. I don't watch the news on TV much anymore. If I'm going to watch TV in the evening, I'll watch something like Beat Bobby Flay or Chopped or all the stuff I like. Right?
Anything that is away from the repetitiveness of the same crap.
Or HGTV where
you're
building or something. My pastor, my Bishop White would tell us he watches Looney Tunes every night before he goes to bed. And we would go, Looney Tunes?
Don't get me started.
Because the day is heavy, and so he would do something very light, right? So yeah, or turn the TV off an hour or so before you go to bed, turn on some nice calming music, or the sounds that are the waves or whatever that will help you get to sleep and help you settle yourself. Yeah. Pray, do whatever it is you need to do to get yourself where you're back down, because every day can be extremely heavy, whether you're looking at something on your phone or an alert or, whatever. But you got to clear that. Yep. I have a friend that's in Texas. She said last week she didn't pray one night before going to bed, and she watched something and she had nightmares and tossed and turned the whole night. And she was like, "Woo! I had to get up. Like, God forgive me. I forgot to pray or whatever." And then she slept the rest of the night.
Of
but
course.
Yes, whatever it takes.
She reset that subconscious.
Whatever it takes for people to be whole and have peace, do that. Because I worked with a director a couple years back, and he told me he used to work in the news, in the media. And he said, I can tell you right now, the news cycle, 90% of it is propaganda, or the story is twisted to get you to think one way versus the other.
Yeah, you don't get
most
the whole
of it
thing.
is not factual.
That's why, going back to what you guys said earlier about watching other news like BBC or Al Jazeera or from other countries, it's not even just stuff related to the United States. It's their whole news process and the way they deliver things. They give you, I'm not going to say they're 100% true, but they give you far more of the whole story than the United States actually does. And you can actually leave that story, or once the story ends, you can kind of formulate your own opinion about it, because I feel that they give enough of the whole story that you kind of get both sides. We don't get that here. We always get a slant, a heavy slant, and it's hard to really make good decisions based off of that, especially if you don't do your own research, which most folks don't. That's why I hope more people either see stuff like what we're talking about right now, or do the things that we're talking about. Turn the TV off, do the meditation, watch the Looney Tunes, talk to friends more often, do more stuff outside of electronics, and get out and get some sun. Tony talks about it all the time. Take your shoes off, go to the beach, just do some outside stuff, engage in activities that we used to do when we were younger. And I know when we were kids, we had a lighter kind of perspective because we didn't have the responsibilities and what have you. But also it's because we weren't so entangled in the internet and the technology and the stuff that people are throwing at us, and we're just taking it because they're throwing at us. We used to do our own. We used to read. Whether
that's a concept.
Exactly. Whether it be for entertainment or to actually gain some, specific local knowledge or what's happening. That's something that's gone by the wayside nowadays. And I hate to say it, I don't read half as much as I used to, and I definitely need to do more. But the vast majority of people don't read at all.
The messed up part is I read all the time, even stuff I don't want to read.
Yeah.
So that's why I really get upset when people's copy is garbage. Like, what are you writing? Why are you skipping words? Like, where's the one word missing can change the whole context of a sentence.
Of course.
So, and then they get mad at me for questioning.
Yeah.
I want to understand. I'm not being sarcastic, even though my mom used to think
sometimes
that. I want to know for real.
Yeah.
I know, but everyone.
But that's like with me and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, my reputation precedes me with the sarcasm. So when I'm really serious, people don't take me serious. They're like, "Oh man, come on, man. You know how you are." I'm like, "No, I know how I am, but I mean, still, I want to read something that makes sense."
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you something. We're talking about algorithms and all this tech, right?
Mm-hmm.
I paid my electric bill about a week ago. I think we talked about it on here, how high it is and ridiculous. I paid it. My mother called me that afternoon. She was like, "Okay, why did I get the notice that you just paid?" And she told me the amount on my electric bill. I was like, "What?" She said, "Yeah, I just got confirmation." I was like, "Okay." This morning she called me. She said, "Oh, you need me to pick you up from the dealer for my car, right? It's in for service." I said, "No, Lyft just gave me a ride home. They send you home in a Lyft." She said, "Oh, because I just got the." She sent me the text. I just got it. Your dealership.
Your mama tracking you.
That's right. Your dealership requested a ride on behalf of you. Would you like to share the location? And then Antoinette is on their way. Antoinette has arrived. My mother has an iPhone. I have an Android. I don't share locations with anybody, but my mother is getting all kinds of texts. Like, I don't know how our stuff is together.
You guys sharing the G drive?
No, absolutely not. But she got notification that I paid my bill the other day. Just that one. And then now she got this. And I'm like, "Oh, well, the kids share their locations and all that." I said, "Well, I know I'll be safe. My mama knows, at least, like, if I'm on my way somewhere or whatever."
Wow,
but
that's crazy.
Technology. She's got AT&T. I have T-Mobile. So how
Ghost in the machine.
Huh?
Ghost in the machine.
Stranger Things, right? So yeah. We're talking about not only algorithms and all that, but technology will track you. Technology will let your mama know what you're paying and what you're not. And no, but I don't know how all our stuff is commingled right now. Something's going on.
Wild.
Isn't that wild?
Mm-hmm.
Because actually, when I answered the phone, it was her. I was like, "Hey, Mom." She's like, "You need me to pick you up?" I was like, "No, I'm home." And she was like, "Oh, because I got the text."
Right.
I was like,
"Are you sure?"
I was like, "Okay, thank you."
Yeah,
but
wild.
In a while, so somehow she got notification I paid my bill last week, and somehow she got notification of me being picked up by the Lyft from the dealer and being dropped off. I've arrived.
Well, just know if you got kidnapped, she'd know where to find you.
That's what I told her.
I know exactly where she is.
I said, I don't need to worry about getting snatched up, because at least if anybody needs to know, my mama will know.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's good, Brian, that you thought of this today, because the person that I thought was gonna be on today couldn't make it. But I think it's really, really important that we do take time to step back, away from the TV, away from social media, away from, a lot of people listen to news programs and things like that, talk radio, I guess, podcasting, audio podcasts or whatever. Maybe listen to an audio book. I'm the kind of person, if I do an audio book, I generally have purchased the book because I like to read it while I'm listening. Because sometimes the audiobooks don't have everything that's in the regular book. And they omit things. And so I'm like, wait, hold up. Let me back that up. Wait a minute.
That would irritate my dad something fierce because he loves reading books on audio.
Yeah. But I've noticed that on some. I'm like, oh, like you were just saying, Jamal, some words you skip, or Brian, you were saying. And then, I tend to be the grammar police. I sent Brian a text, I think yesterday, and was like,
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I was like,
people, when you post stuff, just please, this is what I was just talking about. I know you like to leave words out and change the context, but if you could just not use hooked on phonics and actually spell the word. I'm going to put my brother out there because he's dyslexic. He has a worse time, but man, let me tell you, he can't spell a lick. Miraculously, he wrote 50 songs and sold them to Sony and made a grip. And I looked at the ones. I'm like, I'm not going to even say anything. It worked for you. So, I used to be, remember how bad I was, Jamal, early on Facebook? I was the grammar police.
Oh, yeah.
I would eat people's posts alive.
That was me, because I'm the grammar police. But I don't eat people alive anymore. I just keep scrolling.
Yeah, me too.
Drink your water.
It's a waste of my brain cells. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business.
Because in our age, or our age range, our age group, by now, you should police your own stuff. I can't do it.
If you can't spell words right now,
the text languages, instead of spelling the whole word joking, they do JK. And it's cool if you know both and use both, but I feel that a lot of them don't know how to spell full words or
I hate
use
acronyms.
full sentences, and it's like, okay, well, when you get older and have to use those, you're going to have to learn it all over again or learn it for the first time.
Well, the messed up part is technology has crumpled upon itself so much that the acronyms that you used to use for one type of tech are now the same exact acronyms you're using for another type of tech. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I'm done. I'm glad I'm old.
I'm not a texter. I hate texting. Meaning sitting there typing something. Probably because I sit in front of computers and I'm typing all day. I don't want to be typing on a phone. I will voice text you. I will do the record button, do the whole, maybe 2 minutes.
I hate that. I hate reading. I hate listening to people's text.
Well, you can read the transcript on a voice text too. But the thing is, I guess I'm old school at 60. I like communication. I want to talk to someone. Because how many times in a text has someone said something and you interpret it the wrong way or vice versa?
No emotion. You can't tell the emotion.
Right. So I'm not a texter. People sometimes text me and I can tell you this. You might text me today and I see when it pops up. If I don't open it then, I'm busy or whatever, it may sit there 2 or 3 days. By then you will have called me or something like, did you get my text? Oh, I might have. And that's just because I hate text.
Yep, I was waiting for you to call me.
Yeah, might as well have called me. And then I know some people are like, don't call me. I had to call Nick yesterday, Nick Blount. And Nick, we saw him at that thing in La Cañada. And Nick says, oh, Tony, call me. I got to talk to you about something. I was like, okay. He said, but don't text me. I said, oh, okay. I said, you don't like text? He said, I don't do text. I don't even have like messages, the app for text downloaded on my phone. I deleted it. I said, so I can't get text. I don't do text. Call me. So I called him and I had to call him twice. And so he finally called me back. I said, dude, you don't do text. Why would you tell me to call if you also don't answer your phone?
He's like, I got to tell you that.
But people have to do what they need for their wellness and put up the boundaries that they feel are appropriate for them.
Sure.
So if that means no texting, I tell everybody, please don't group text me, because if you group text me, I will block you. If people start,
that's like my aunt.
The thing I hate about group texting is they don't know how to just text back to that individual. They text all the group texts all day. And I'm just like, how dumb can you be, man? Just text that person. So at Victory, sometimes the groups, choir, person, whatever, they do group text. And I tell them, don't group text me. Because if everybody starts sending something back, I'm blocking you and everybody else. And so they will group text whoever and they'll send me a separate one. I am so serious about that. Like, I hate that because people don't use common sense on a group text and just reply to you instead of replying all to everybody. Even if that means just having a separate one-on-one thread with that person, here's my answer. So group texting, I hate. Texting, I'm not the biggest fan of. I will reply to people, but then we're not going to sit there for the next few minutes or hour and have a conversation via text. You better pick up your phone and call me.
I'll keep texting you until you stop.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that. I am going
because I figure if you texting me, you're expecting an answer.
Well, that's just like with us. You guys use WhatsApp a lot, but that's texting basically, right? Unless you're
that's so many different platforms. It's scary.
Yeah, whenever you get there, you'll see it. But the problem is you have to scroll all the way down because it'll be stuck where you left off, not where we sent you stuff.
Like Jamal just put something in there at 9:46. I just went to it and I could say, okay, thanks. Because I'm not going to pull up WhatsApp just automatically. And I don't have any notifications pop up on my phone. Other than text.
I have all the notifications.
I don't want all the notifications from Facebook, IG, WhatsApp. I have
no. I don't. Those I don't put up. But WhatsApp I do. My text I do. And
that's
any
why
voicemail.
You guys will say, Tony, did you see what we put in WhatsApp? No. Text me or call me. And I get it. It's much easier for people to quick on the go or when they're working, utilize those tools. But
when you got too many of them, though, it's even more confusing. Because, like, I'll send or Brian will say, "Hey, did you see that?" Or I'll send something to him. Did you see that? We're like, where? Or it's like, I'm gonna send it to you. Like, where? You send it to Messenger?
Yeah, we always usually say where we're gonna send it, so we can keep the flow going.
That if you gotta send me something in WhatsApp, you might as well just regular text my phone directly, because then you know I'll see it.
And I like WhatsApp because it doesn't diminish the quality of videos and pictures, unlike
my phone doesn't do that.
If I send you a video on your text, it's gonna look like garbage, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
WhatsApp, yeah. Especially if you're going between Android and iPhones.
Oh, and the CEO of iPhone said we are not going to make it easy for you to communicate with other devices outside of our own. I mean, he already said that. So that's why the texting is at its garbage worse.
Wild. All right.
Well, before you start the announcements, I wanted to go back and give some shout outs. We got Crypto Breezy joined in today. Got Sean Dion has joined us. Welcome. The Classic Ash. Miss White, that's of course Michelle White. That's her actual profile instead of Neighborhood Servants. And then we're gonna have to say this one right. It's Jill Annism, I think. Jill Annism. And then we have Red Cup 1972 and Arts Florals Balloons has joined us. So welcome everyone. We appreciate you tuning in on Instagram. I'm pretty sure their son came on Facebook, but I wasn't looking at Facebook yet. My bad. Sorry, guys.
It is all to the good. All right, so I'm going to start with that one. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do the announcements real quick. I'm not going to do every single one. I'm just going to do the local stuff. And here we go.
Not long ago.
So this is going to be a different order today because I was going to do something else. But anyway, as we indicated before, in-person SBA assistance returns. It's in a couple different locations. One is Ronald Reagan in Palisades, post 283 at 15247 La Cruz Drive in Pacific Palisades. It's open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. And yesterday, when it originally opened, it was at noon. The other locations are local one at Eaton Fire Collaborative, the Collaboratory at 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6. Yep. And there's a link at the bottom if you want additional info. I'm going to zoom through the next couple because we're not covering those right now. We're going to jump out over here. So Saturday, January 31st is the last day the Altadena Main Library is going to be open, because the following day it will be closed for renovation for about 14 to 18 months. Now, there will be extended branch hours for Bob Lucas Memorial Library at 2659 Lincoln Ave. They'll be open Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 8, Friday through Saturday, 10 to 5, and Sundays 1 to 5. And then Altadena Library at Loma Alta Park, which is located at 3330 North Lincoln Ave. They're going to be open from Monday through Thursday from 10 to 6, and then Friday and Saturday 10 to 5, and they will not be open on Sundays. And then later today from 12 to 3 p.m., the We Out Here Market is going to be going on at the world famous Fair Oaks Burger. It's going to be at 2560 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Altadena. There's going to be fresh produce and groceries, free smoothies, and much more. They also do need donations as well as volunteers. So if you're open to helping out or bringing something for folks and donating, please get additional information at juicylittle.org. And it doesn't say it here, but it's exclusively for Altadena residents. In the past, they did check ID, so make it a point to bring your ID to make sure that you can show that you're an Altadena resident.
Yeah, she don't play.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
And there's also the free pop-up at Lifeline Fellowship Christian Fellowship at 2556 North Lake Avenue in Altadena. This is going on today from 12 until supplies last. They do ask that you please bring your own bag, and there will be 200 free hot meals provided by El Patron Restaurant. There's also this portion where Boots on the Ground special end of month Wednesdays. They'll be giving away bulk supplies of hygiene products, new clothing, shoes, dishware, diapers, wipes, and other essential supplies. So you can come and stock up. Also today, the Hollywood Food Coalition is providing their community food distributions going from 11 to 12. So it just began a few minutes ago. This is at the main library parking lot, 600 East Mariposa Street. And supplies are limited, and it's first come, first serve. And they do also ask that you bring your own bags.
And of course, this is the last one at the library.
Great point. Until the reopening, probably, and we'll see what happens in 18 months. What's going to happen there? So the laundry truck LA has their services. The drop-off time just ended about 7 minutes ago for today. It was from 9 to 11 at the Altadena Seventh-day Adventist Church at 2609 Lincoln Avenue. So if you missed this week, at least you know now. Next week they'll be there, and you can drop off your clothes between 9 and 11 a.m. And what they do is they wash, dry, and fold your clothes, and it takes about 2 hours for that to happen. So definitely utilize that. And I saw on the news, too, they're going to a local elementary school. I apologize, I don't remember which one, but I'll try to find that for next time. And I believe they go on Tuesdays to that particular one. Now, I have to clarify for this one. This is from Dina Rebuild and Restoration. It says there's food distribution. The part I need to clarify is it says that it's going to be Thursday, the 28th. And I have a feeling that they meant Thursday, the 29th. Otherwise, today is the 28th. So I sent a message to them, and I'll clarify. Pretty sure it's tomorrow from 2 to 5 p.m. They're going to have 100 prepackaged food boxes. They'll be available to support the community. First come, first serve. And this is going to be at Pasadena Christian Center at 2588 East Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. And then Janelle Ketcher is going to host a workshop where participants will learn about the therapeutic qualities of writing letters and how it can be a powerful tool for processing grief. This is taking place tomorrow from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. It is for adults 18 and older, and this is at the main library community room, 600 East Mariposa Street, and there is a registration. You do need to register to participate, and you can do so by scanning the QR code right there on the screen. All right, Altadena Revealed is having the next installment of their monthly lecture series and social hour. This next one is Itinerant Craftsman, Lessons from the Duntley Blackburn Residence. The speaker is Graham Larkin. It's taking place this Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Altadena Main Library, again, 600 East Mariposa Street. The doors open at 7, and the lecture is going to be from 7:30 to 8:30, followed by Q&A. So definitely check this out. I haven't been to any of these, but I know a few people who have, and it's been pretty entertaining. And then LA Fire Relief Distribution is from Good Karma, as well as Frontline Relief. They're providing support for Altadena and Pasadena residents affected by the Eden fires, including free Joe's Pizza and household and pet supplies. It's happening on Friday at 12 p.m. It's going to be located at 2012 Lake Avenue in Altadena. It says it's going to be Joe's Pizza, but I believe, and Brian and I kind of looked at this address, we believe it's going to be at that old gas station on Lake.
It is. They responded when I sent the thing out to them and said it is a pop-up.
Okay, so it's a pop-up. Excellent. So definitely check that out if you want to get some free items. And,
I'm gonna be there for the pizza. I go to everybody's pizza.
Pizza is my favorite too.
So you want me to show up at your event and have some pizza? Not that Domino's stuff though, homegrown. I'll take Altadena pizza, Joe's Pizza at any time.
Mm-hmm. 1,000 Voices Altadena Mosaic. There's a clay and storytelling workshop with Alma Cielo and Amy Shimson Santo. It's a hands-on art and storytelling workshop for people impacted by the fires. Get to shape clay and share stories in a space of care and creativity. Get your hands in the cool, soft, natural clay and share about what you love in Altadena through creative writing and spoken word. Make a tile for the community mosaic and add your voice to local history. Families are welcome and no experience is necessary. This is taking place on Saturday, the 31st, from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Armory Center for the Arts. This is located at 145 North of Raymond Avenue in Pasadena. They do say all clay materials will be provided. They do ask that you bring a journal and a pen or a pencil, and drinks and snacks will be provided. To register, you want to go to laconservancy.org/1000 voices. That's 1000 and then voices in all caps. And then Ashes and Echoes. It's an immersive exhibit that transforms the oral histories of Eaton fire survivors into a living tapestry of home, resilience, and restoration. Admission is free and it's open to the public. This is going to take place at the Pasadena Convention Center, which is at 300 East Green Street in Pasadena. It's starting on the 31st, which is Saturday, on through February 3rd, which is Tuesday. So on Saturday, it's open from 1 to 8, Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then Monday and Tuesday, they're open from 2 to 8. To register and get additional information, please scan the QR code. And then that wrap party I mentioned yesterday is going to take place at the Eaton Fire Collaboratory on Saturday from 5 to 8. They're going to reflect, it's where reflection meets real action and accountability actually sticks, building momentum month by month. together so that when 2027 arrives, you can already step into it boldly and with purpose. So registration is required, and a rap book is required for attendance. Books are not sold there, but you can get them by going to stronghomenetwork.com, and you can order the book, and you can register by scanning the QR code on the screen. And the collaboratory again is 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. There's free fire support groups on Sundays at 10 a.m. at the Star Wellness Center, which is located at 500 East Villa Street in Pasadena. Should you have any questions about this event, you can reach out to Whitney at Whitney V as in Victor at gostars.org. And then we've been rounding all the slides or announcements out with this one. So Sunday, February 1st at Ogbo Cultural Center will be the official premiere of the documentary film Beneath the Ashes, The Past Reimagined, produced by Brandon D. Lamar and directed by Hirad Gedalian. The location is 2495 East Mountain Street in Pasadena, with the doors opening at 4:30 and the screening beginning at 5 p.m. Please scan the QR code in order to get your free tickets. This is free, and it'll actually be a very nice event. And with that, I'll go ahead and bring Brian and Tony back in.
I wanted to bring some attention to some information I just found out right now. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Shirley Raines.
Yep,
but
I saw that post.
She passed away today. She was the woman who was from Long Beach that would go out every day. She started a nonprofit called, just have it up here.
You would do the barbering.
Beauty to the Streets. I'm about to share the
and Oscar Bell from Pasadena too.
Yeah, that was just crazy. He was just talking smack about the games the other day.
For him, I guess he had cirrhosis of the liver and didn't tell anybody.
So this is Shirley Raines. She, let me just show you one of her videos real quick so you can understand. This woman would cook every day and then go out in the community and show the love. So here's a video. I don't know if I got the sound up. Can you hear it?
She played no games either.
Huh?
No.
She played no games. People would come talking crazy. She was about it.
Right. But she would come out. She giving bags of food and hygiene products. And she said hi to everybody. Can you guys hear it?
No.
Let's make that so you can hear it, because that's actually important. This is the last time you're probably going to hear her voice. Unless you go to the actual page. Nod your head if you can hear it.
Hi, no problemo. How you doing, honey? No problemo. Hey, my love. How you doing, King? Good to see you, baby. Hey, you're very welcome, King. Thank you for saying thank you, honey. Hey, King, how you doing? Thank you for saying thank you. Juice, chips, candy, hot dog, ketchup. It's all beef hot dogs from Costco. You're very welcome, King. Have an amazing day, honey. How you doing, King? Let me get another bag. You know it's all beef. Got your snacks and your juice and everything you need in there.
You with the queen thing, with the band?
Yes, my love.
I appreciate it.
Of course, King. How you doing, baby? You do? God is good. Look at you. You're very welcome. How you doing, King? You need some? All right, King. Take care, baby. You're welcome, King. Hey, how you doing, sir? All right, baby. There's that for you, honey. Hey, King. Good to see you, honey.
Thank you for calling me King, Queen.
Of course, I see it. I absolutely see it, honey. All right, baby. Take care. How you doing, my love? How, baby? I love you, too. You're very welcome, honey.
Have a wonderful day.
You too, baby.
Thank you.
Of course, King. Of course. Amen. Always in his name. Okay. Have a blessed day, baby. How you doing, King? Good to see you, young King. You stay blessed too, baby. Oh, yeah. You know what? Hold on.
Yeah, so rest in peace, Queen. You deserve all your accolades. It almost brought me to tears. I gotta stop talking now.
It almost brought you to tears? Oh.
Because she's passed away and she was such a nice lady.
Did you know her personally?
No, but I'm always gonna cry when I see somebody doing something for somebody else. That's my thing.
Okay. Because I know, like, sometimes when celebrities die and stuff, and people get all super emotional.
I don't cry over celebrities.
Did you know them personally? Because if
No,
not,
I knew of her work. I've been watching her for the last 2 months. I just never brought it up because, it's just something I like to look at. I just like to look at videos of people doing good for other people. That's how my algorithm goes.
yeah, she was a sweetheart for sure.
Yeah.
She's been out there on Skid Row doing it for quite some time. And
Right, she goes to Vegas and does all kinds of stuff, and she's been all over the place.
Yeah.
She actually had just got a great grant too, from what I saw. But yeah, that's sad. She had 6 kids. So hopefully they weren't young. So that's all I got.
And she rest in power. All right. Yeah, I'm done. Man, just hope everybody have a great, we'll bring a little levity back real quick. Have a great hump day. All right. Because you know what today is.
You need the one with the actual voice. Hey, Sherry, looks like you're getting off. I see you over there, Whitney.
Guess what today is.
Right. Man, like, not again.
Hey, may this be the best hump day you guys have experienced ever. Tune in with us tomorrow. We're going to have a guest tomorrow.
Brandon Lamar.
Yes, Brandon Lamar.
Just a reminder.
Brandon Dante Lamar.
Tony.
Brandon Dante Jamaican.
Brandon. And that'll be a really good show. It's gonna have
Every
a lot
time
of
you say that, I always think
there.
of Ed Sullivan.
Of who?
Ed Sullivan. It's a really good show.
Oh, yeah. Really good show. All right. Well, we're out because she's on the phone and we're done. Have a good one, y'all. See you mañana.